Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey, hello everybody. I hope you all are doing really well and also having a really nice day. And yes, and we are all here yet again for another class of our mandala art techniques. And it has been so long that I didn't even realize that we have almost reached to class 5 of our mandala art technique course, or the mandala art technique, the whole course in all. And I'm really happy to see the response in terms of submissions that you have made up till now, and even the quality of the submissions. I mean, all of you here are so talented, and I was talking about the same thing in my previous class as well. And I see so phenomenal submissions coming from you guys, and it's really awesome to see all of you having a good hand over creativity. And I really appreciate all of you enjoying the classes on YOLO. And yes, I see all of you giving me a big, nice smile. So we are here we're here for another class today. As I said, it's the class 5 of our mandala course. And so far we have been doing all patterns and colorful sketch pens and ink pens and ball pens and whatnot. So it has been a long way till now where we have used patterns in drawing our mandalas. So I thought, why not introduce you all to a new technique this time, a new technique of drawing or creating mandalas. So this one is going to be a little different from our regular classes in terms of the techniques that we use for drawing mandalas or creating mandalas. So I'm really excited to share the content for you today. So quickly give me a thumbs up if you are ready for the class with all your art materials, and I'll quickly share the screen then. Quickly give me a thumbs up if you're ready with the art materials and all excited to start the fun activity. I need quick thumbs ups rolling in, and I'll just share the screen then. Yes. Awesome. Just give me a moment. I'll share the screen, and there we go. I hope you all can see the screen now. Yes? Okay. So let's get started then. So first of all, let's discuss the art materials that we need for today's class. So the first we need an A5 size black sheet. So this time we're using an A5 size black colored sheet. In case you're not having a black tinted paper or a black paper like this, you can also make use of your regular white papers that you have. Simple white drawing sheets would also totally work. Okay, so I'm going to be using this black sheet. Second, this is a tiny little pencil. Now this is completely optional in this class. In case you just want to sketch out something and then proceed with the next steps, you can take a pencil. Otherwise, it's not compulsory to have a pencil in this class. So that's the second material, which is completely optional. The third that we need are these earbuds. So earbuds or Q-tips, whatever you call it as. So we are going to make use of these in today's class as well. I have approximately 4 to 5 of these earbuds in this class. So make sure you're also having at least 2 to 3 of them as well. So that's the third one, the earbuds. And fourth, we have these acrylic paints. So this is my first color, which is orange color. That's orange color. The next is a yellow color. All of these are acrylic paints. Just make sure that in case you're using a black tinted paper, you need to have acrylic paints because only these acrylic paints would be visible on the black paper. In case you're using white sheet of paper, even if you use watercolors or poster colors, that would be totally fine. But just make sure that if you're using a black paper, a black tinted paper, you have acrylic colors with you because only then the colors would be visible on the black paper. Okay. So the next color that I have is a blue color. Any shade of blue that you have, that would totally work. And the last is this white acrylic paint. Okay. So I have 4 of these acrylic colors, orange, yellow, blue, and white. In case you're not having orange color, you can also mix red and yellow together to get an orange color. And in case you don't want to do all of these mixing of paints and everything, you can simply go ahead and make use of red color. So a quick substitute for your orange paint in today's class would be a red paint. And if you want to really make use of an orange paint in this class, you can just quickly mix up yellow and red, I'm sorry, yellow and red color. So you will get an orange color. Okay, awesome. So quickly give me a thumbs up if all the art materials that I discussed are clear, are crystal clear, and you're all set to just get started with the fun activity for today. Quickly give me a thumbs up. I'll give you 5 seconds to quickly give me a thumbs up if you're all set with the materials. Okay, awesome. So a lot of you all set with your art materials to dive into today's fun activity. So let us all get started now. Okay, so just the first thing, that's the black tinted paper. Take one of your earbud, just a single one earbud, and I'm making use of this orange paint now. Again, as I said, in case you don't have an orange paint or orange acrylic color, you can make use of a red color as well, or you can make your own orange color by mixing red and yellow acrylic paints. Okay. Awesome. So first, I'll just dip the Q-tip, the earbud, into the paint, and just at the corner of the sheet, I'm making a dot. So did you see? I just made a dot at the corner area, exact corner of the sheet. At the top right corner of the sheet, I just made a dot. Okay, so I think this would be easy to follow. Now, again, just dip your earbuds into the paint and just around the first dot, make 3 dots. Just around the first dot, make 3 dots. So if you see the first dot here right at the corner, and then we give a next layer which is of 3 dots just around the first dot that we have made. Okay, so this is the technique that we are going to follow in today's class. This is also called as the dot art technique, where we just create something using dots, simple dots, and we just end up making an enormous piece of art. So this is the technique that we are going to make use in today's class to create a beautiful dot mandala art. So I hope you have all followed it up till here. Let's move to the next step now. Now, as you know, we all give layers to our mandala, right? So even now, we'll keep adding layers to the previous layer that we have given. So just on top of the previous three dots, I'm again drawing these dots. I'm just creating these dots with the help of the earbud. Okay, so here's a quick recap in case you have not followed. So this is the first layer just around the central dot. Then just above it, we give another layer of these dots. And if you see, I'm just moving in a circular pattern. If you remember the greeting cards that we have made, we also made it in this corner style. So that's the same thing that I'm following here. Okay. So I hope you have also created at least two layers now. And then we just take this yellow acrylic color now. Time to use this yellow acrylic color. Instead of just taking paints on the palette, you can also directly dip your earbuds onto the lid of the container of the paint. Okay. Now, just on the other side of the earbud. In case you want to make use of another earbud, you can do that as well. But I'm going to make use of the other side of the earbud now. Dip it into the yellow paint. Nicely dip it into the yellow paint. And then above the previous layer, we are going to again give a good layer of dots in yellow color this time. Okay. So if you see again, I'm just moving in the circular direction and above the previous layer of dots. Okay. So if you see, I've just given another layer of yellow dots this time. So we'll repeat this process again. We'll give another layer of yellow above this. So two layers of yellow now. Just the similar technique, just above the previous layer, they're giving another layer. So this process could be really easy and fun to do at the same time. So just make sure that you're having enough paint on the earbuds so you can keep dipping your earbuds into the paint and keep giving these dots. Okay, so if you see, I've just given a two layer nice dots beyond the previous one now. Okay, so here's a quick recap in case you haven't followed. Just a nice second layer of yellow above the previous yellow layer now. Okay, now time to switch the side of the earbud or the earbud for which you used orange acrylic paint or red acrylic paint. Let's give a layer of orange paint now. The similar technique, just above the previous one in the circular motion now. And we give nice layer of orange now. If you see, I'm just moving this curved area, this curved section, and I'm nicely giving another layer. So just make sure that you're not drawing these dots or creating these dots exactly next to each other. Make sure that you have a little amount of gap in between the dots. So if you see the arrow over here, I have good amount of gaps in between the dots. Okay, so need not connect the dots in literal sense, but just make sure that you have a tiny little gap in between the dots as well. Okay. Awesome. So let's give another layer of orange now, just about the previous one. You can keep dipping your earbuds into the paint time and again. And then give a nice further layer of orange dots. Okay. So here's a quick recap for you in case you haven't followed. Just about the previous one, the previous orange layer, orange dot layer, giving another layer of orange dots. And I'm moving in a curved section only. Okay. Awesome. So now again, switching the side, time to give a yellow layer of dot again. So just the similar technique, we are just switching the colors from orange to yellow to give a nice contrast look and a nice color combination to it as well. So if you see, I'm just following the same technique, dipping the earbud into the paint and giving another layer above the previous one. Okay. I hope you all are enjoying this technique as well. It's okay if you are a little slow in this technique. As far as your artworks are neat, that's totally not an issue. Okay, so here's a quick recap for anybody who hasn't followed this process. Just about the orange layer of dot, I'm again giving 2 layers of yellow. In the similar technique, dipping my earbud into the paint and then giving the simple dot. Okay, so almost there. And also make sure you're moving in that circular area only, that curved area only. Okay. So again, just following the similar technique, giving another layer of yellow. So first we gave 2 layers of yellow, then 2 layers of orange. Then again, we gave 2 layers of this yellow. So just make sure that you're also giving good 2 layers of each paint, just above the other. I'm almost on my second layer of this yellow dot. Okay, again, time to switch the earbud to the other side where you have used orange paint. Now again, if you feel that the earbud has damaged or it is not, able to give the correct circular dots, what you can do is you can make use of another earbud, a fresh new one instead of using the same one. Okay, so I'm just following the same process again. Okay, so carefully listen to me this time. So instead of giving another layer now, there's a different thing that I'm going to do. So all of you just keep your earbuds and paint down for a while. Just carefully observe this and then you can just create this along when I recap this. Okay, so first all of you all just carefully observe this. So just roughly at the center, I am just creating this diagonal line with the help of dots. So if you could just guess, we are just drawing the rays of the sun now. So just the rays of the sun, approximately 8 to 9 dots that I've drawn in this diagonal area. Okay, so just with orange paint, orange acrylic color, I've just given this nice good diagonal line of dots, just like the rays of the sun. So this is the sun that we are creating over here, and this is the rays of the sun that we are drawing. In a similar way, just next to the previous one with a little bit of gap, drawing the diagonal line again with the help of dots. So roughly just these slant lines, diagonal lines, approximately 8 to 9 dots on each of these diagonal lines would be enough. Okay, so now you can just take your paints along and you can create this along with me. So that's the first central dot. About that, we do another one in a diagonal section. Okay, so approximately again 7 to 9 or 8 to 9 of these dots would be enough. Don't drag it too much till the bottom because we have another concept at that area as well. So just 8 to 9 of these dots and just next to the previous diagonal, we just create another diagonal line. So the rays of the sun now and above previous one as well. You can just rotate the sheet in case you find it difficult. Don't just end up putting your hand over the central sun section that we have drawn. You'll end up ruining the page. So you can either rotate the sheet according to your convenience and then just draw these dots. Okay, let us see, I've just drawn three of these diagonal lines with sufficient amount of gaps in between these. Okay, so you see there's good amount of gap between these rays, and then I'll just take another color now, that is the yellow color this time, and in the similar way, just between these orange rays, we are going to draw a good layer of yellow dots now. So just next to this orange, if you see, just next to the orange diagonal line, that is the sun rays, we are drawing these yellow sun rays now. So that's the first one. Similarly to the next rays as well. Okay, you can constantly dip your earbuds into the paint and then give these dots. Just next to these orange dots now. And as I said, just keep rotating the page in case you find it difficult. Okay, so just next to the orange rays of the sun, we are giving these yellow rays now. Don't worry, I'll repeat the same process for you again. Okay, so I'll quickly repeat this process now. Okay, so that was the first one, and now on to the second one. Just next to the orange rays of the sun, I'm giving these yellow rays. So just parallel to the orange diagonal lines, the diagonal lines created with the dots, I'm giving these yellow rays now. In case you have drawn more than three orange rays, you have drawn more of the rays, just make sure that you're following the same technique and giving these yellow dots next to the orange dots as well. Okay? Awesome. So there's the last one. Now, if you see, there's again a little bit of gap left in between. This time we are just making use of white acrylic paint. So again, you can just take the paint on the lid of the container. On the other side now, just between these rays now, we create dots with the help of white acrylic paint in the similar manner, the similar technique. Okay, so that is what I'm doing right now. Just in between these two rays, I'm drawing another ray with white acrylic paint. Okay, so I hope you are also able to follow this technique as well. So in case you find too much of space in between the rays, you can give this white diagonal lines, the white rays as well. Okay, so just giving a white dot area now in the similar technique. Once you get a hold of the technique now, entire illustration will be easy for you. So we are to the last section over here now. So in case you don't have enough space to just give these white sun rays, it's totally fine if you skip this process. Okay, just don't make it too messy and draw these white dots in between the previous one if you don't have enough space. Okay, so here's a quick recap for anybody who has not followed it up till here. Quickly repeating it for you all. First, I give the orange rays, then yellow rays, and now in between these, I'm going with white acrylic color dots. And as I said, keep rotating your sheet and make sure that your hand, your palm is not touching the dots, the previous dots. Otherwise, you will just end up ruining your artwork now. It will be a mess. So just make sure that you're not touching the paper, the palm is not touching the paper, and you're constantly rotating the sheet as well. Okay? So those are the white rays that I'm giving now. Okay, almost there. And as I said, in case you don't have enough space, please skip this process of giving these white rays. Okay. If you see, I've just drawn the sun with the rays now. Our sun with rays is ready. And if you see, we have a good amount of space left at the bottom side of the sheet now. So it's time to move to the bottom section and draw something there, create something there. Quickly give me a thumbs up if you are done with the sun up till now and you're all ready, all set for the next part of it. Yes, quickly give me a thumbs up if you're done with this. You are ready for the next step now. If you're done with the sun, quickly give me a thumbs up. Yes, I see a lot of you giving me thumbs up and you're all showing me your artworks as well. Awesome. So, okay, so let's move to the bottom section now, the bottom area now, and create something there. So again, just make sure that you observe first because this could be a little different for you. So just observe it first, and when I recap, you can just create this along with me. Okay? So just make sure that you're first observing this, and then you can just create this when I recap it. Okay, so time for the bottom section. Everybody is going to please observe this. I dip my earbud into the white paint now. I'm using white acrylic paint. And just look how I go about with the dots now. Just look at the shape that I'm trying to create with the help of dots. Carefully observe the shape that I'm creating. So I'm just starting with a curved line first. I give a curved area first, and then I move towards the bottom area of the page. There was something like a question mark that I'm creating with the dots. So if you see, that's a question mark kind of a shape that I'm creating with the dots. So this is nothing but we're trying to draw the ocean waves now. We're just creating these ocean waves now. But I start by first giving this good question mark kind of a shape with the white dots. Okay, so now all of you all can take your white paint and your earbuds and you all can just create this along with me. So start from the bottom section, the bottom area. Start by giving a curved section with the help of dots first. Just a curved section with the help of dots. And slightly move towards the bottom area with the help of a straight or a curved line, just like a question mark that we have. Okay, so just a question mark kind of a shape that I'm drawing here with the help of dots. This is nothing but I'm trying to create the ocean waves. Okay, so just above this, we are going to draw or create another layer of the same similar kind of a question mark shape. So again, just observe carefully how I leave a little bit of gap in between and draw or create this question mark shape again, which is slightly parallel to the previous pattern that we have drawn, the previous shape that we have drawn. Okay, so it's completely fine if it is freehand. And in case you find it difficult to just create this directly with the dots or the white acrylic paint, you can just draw this first, just a rough sketch first, and then you can proceed with the white dots if you want. But it's totally fine if it's freehand. In case you are not able to follow it, you can draw it with pencil first. Okay? So here's a quick recap for anybody who hasn't followed it up till here. So that's the first curved line for the base, and just above it, with a little bit of gap, I start creating another layer of dots now. In a similar technique, slightly parallel, and I'm also giving the same question mark shape over there again. Okay, just a similar one with the help of white acrylic paint. Okay, if you see, I've also left a little bit of space in between these. Okay, so that's roughly the outer portion of the ocean waves that we have drawn. And now if you see, there's a little bit of space left inside. So this time we are going to just make use of this blue acrylic paint. Any shade of blue would be fine as far as it's an acrylic paint if you're using it on black paper. And I just take the paint directly from the lid of the container. I dip the earbud into the paint, and then I will just quickly start drawing the dots in the central section now. So start from the top section, and in between these two white dots, I'm just giving blue dots now. Okay, so the similar technique, the similar way, and in between the two white curves, I'm just giving this blue dot section. In the similar way, I start from the top and I gradually move to the bottom section now. Don't worry, I'll just repeat this process for you now. Okay, so I'm just taking blue paint now and I start creating dots in the central section of this vase now. Since it's ocean waves and we need to give some blue tinge to it, let's give a central line of blue, a central line of dots with blue. Shade of blue would be totally fine. If you have a really darker shade of blue and it's not visible on the black sheet, you can just mix a little bit of white into it so that you get a lighter shade of it, and then you can proceed with the same color. Okay, I've just drawn one of this ocean wave. Now it's all about repeating the same process and drawing 2-3 waves around this first one. Okay, so if you see, we have a little space left at this area, and we're going to create these similar waves in different sizes next to each other. Okay, so let's get started with that as well now. So just the similar technique. Dipping my earbud into white paint now, and just a smaller one this time. So I start with this shape of a question mark, kind of a question mark, roughly moving downwards now, giving slight curve. Okay. Make sure you're just moving till the end of the page and not leaving it incomplete. And then just following the similar process. So just these two curved lines now. And again, in between, I'm just leaving a little bit of space as well. Okay. Okay. So in case you haven't followed it up till now, here's a quick recap for you. We first start by giving the first curved line. This is the ocean waves that we are trying to create over here with the help of dots. So I just go about with a shape of a question mark and just move right till the bottom of the sheet with the help of these dots. Okay. And that's the first question mark shape. And then we give the similar kind of a curved line just parallel to it. So just make sure again that you are having good amount of paint on your earbuds. Constantly keep dipping your earbud into the paint so you have good amount of paint on your earbuds. Okay, that's the two curved lines. Now in between this, if you see we have space. So just following the similar technique, giving a good curved line of blue acrylic paint now. Just exactly same to the previous one. Exactly the same with the first one that we have drawn, the first waves that we created. That's the same technique that I'm following here. Okay, we have created two of these. So in case you have a little bit of space left, just like mine, you can just draw this blue question mark shape now. So I have a little bit of space left on the left area of the sheet, just beside the first wave. That just gave a good white curved line as well. Here's a quick recap in case you missed what I've done. So just next to the first ocean waves that I created, there's a little bit of space left in between. So I'm just creating a curved line with the help of dots at that section as well. Okay, and then we just move towards the bottom of the sheet. The similar technique that I'm doing. In case you don't have space at that area, you can completely skip this process. And now again, in between these two waves, there was a little bit of space left. I'm just filling it up with the help of blue dots. Okay, so just make sure that none of these dots are overlapping each other. Make sure that there's enough gap in between the dots so that each of the waves is identifiable separately. Okay, don't make it overlapping, don't overlap the dots. Leave good amount of space in between so that there's good differentiation in between the waves as well. Okay, so these two of these waves I've just created. Now again, the similar technique and we just create another wave at this bottom section now. Okay, so taking white acrylic paint again, the same technique again. Start from the curved portion of the question mark shape and then we just keep moving towards the end of the sheet. Okay, so just the similar technique. This is something that we're creating simply with dots. Did you ever wonder that we could, just create such an enormous piece of art with the help of simple dots and different colors? So this is a simple technique of creating something with dots, and that's how I'm just going about with the last wave, the last ocean wave that I'm creating. Okay, so just a similar technique, and again, if you see, I've just left a good amount of gap in between, which we are again going to fill up with blue acrylic paint. Okay, exactly the similar one. In case you have larger amount of space left over here, even if you want to draw a larger or a taller ocean wave at this area, that's totally fine as well. And if you have more than three ocean waves, you have four or five of these, that's totally fine again. Since I have space enough to accommodate at least three of these waves, I've just drawn three of these. and I'm not making it too messy. I'm not overlapping the dots as well, if you see. Okay, so just 3 of these waves now. There's again a little bit of space left at this section. So I'm just drawing a curved line with the help of dots at this section. The similar technique, just a curved line. Okay. So almost done. Just taking a little bit of white again and giving a slight layer of white at this part. If you see there's too much of black space in between, you can just go ahead with any color of your choice, that is blue or white, whatever you want, and give these curved line dots or dots in the curved section just to fill up that gap. Okay, and the side area as well. I'm just giving these simple dots. Okay, so that's what we have created. We have created a sun right at the top corner. Then we created few ocean waves now. I've created 3 to 4 of these ocean waves, and just for the abrupt gaps of the corners, I've just given simple lines, simple curved lines with the blue acrylic paint or the white acrylic paint. In case you have more space at the corners, you can just go ahead and draw more ocean waves just the way we have drawn these 3. Okay, so we are just done with this artwork now. We have a beautiful sun at the top. We have sun rays at the top, and then we have these beautiful ocean waves down. And all of this we have just created with the help of dots. So that was a technique that I wanted to introduce you all to. Just creating dots, just connecting these dots, and we just end up making a beautiful piece of art. Yes, so it's totally fine if you have not completed your artworks up till now. It's fine if you even complete your artworks after this class ends. So that was the artwork now. And there's another thing that I'm going to remind you all about is don't forget to make your submissions. So even if you have not completed now, you can just quickly complete your artworks and then go make your submissions before the deadlines. And all of those who have completed your artworks and all are showing me on the screen as well, just go make your submissions, and I'm going right away, right after this class completes, I'm going to go check the submissions. And yes, I see all of you giving me thumbs up that yes, we'll be making the submissions on time. So I hope you all enjoyed making these dots, making this beautiful illustration out of simple dots, simple connection of dots. And yes, so I hope you all enjoyed this class, you all had fun, and you all going to make your submissions, right? Okay. So until we meet in the next class, please take care of yourself and enjoy the hobby classes on Uolo and just stay creative. Okay, I'll see you in the next class. Bye bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session, and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that, and then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at Uolo_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to